Hello everyone, my name is Zhenzhen Zhang from North Carolina State University. I'm really happy today to talk about my study, Green Schoolyards as Sources for Green Equity. Green infrastructures such as parks, forests, and open green spaces are essential for our urban ecosystem health, which support public well-being and quality of life. Green structure offers a variety of ecosystem services like recreation, urban heat mitigation, and stormwater management. However, the benefits of green structure are not equally distributed. There is evidence that show low-income people and minority groups have less access to green spaces. And at the same time, green structure expansion also meet barriers such as lacking financial or regulatory incentive and hard to coordinate different departments and stakeholders. So we think that schools are an ideal setting for expanding green structures and also have the potential to mitigate green structure injustice issue. First, schoolyards are the most accessible places to children because kids spend a lot of time in schools. Green schoolyards are the places to connect kids with nature and provide natural settings for recreation and outdoor educations. Second, schoolyards have a lot of impervious surfaces, which create a lot of stormwater, but at the same time, they offer enough spaces for green structure expansions, so it could be a solution. Besides, schools serve a diverse populations. Schools are found in every community, regardless of social vulnerability. Last, green schoolyards as part of urban green spaces that can benefit the overall urban communities. This research targets the question, do schoolyards enhance or mitigate inequities in children's exposure to green structures? This study has two objectives. The first objective is to identify the land cover within school property and neighborhoods. Second, we will explore the relationship between green structure, socioeconomic status, and minority status among school and neighborhoods. We choose four largest school districts across North Carolina. They are Cumberland, Forsyth, Mecklenburg, and Wake County. We narrowed our focus to elementary schools because outdoor activities are more frequent in elementary schools. These four counties present a wide range of geospatial and socioeconomic conditions. For Objective 1, we first define the neighborhoods as an area of 1 kilometer buffer zone surrounding schools. We use color infrared images from National Agriculture Imagery Program and use the supervised classification method, the random forest, to classify the land cover into 5 categories. Because we are interested in the green cover, tree and lawn, so we treat tree and lawn as one category as total green structures. In this study, we compared tree canopy cover and the total green structures within schools and neighborhood. For Objective 2, to explore the relationship between green structure, socioeconomic status, and minority status, we first use the Spearman correlation to conduct bivariate analysis between green structure, socioeconomic status, or minority status. Then we conducted multivariate analysis by ordinary least square and spatial lag model. The reason for choosing spatial lag model because it is able to capture spatial autocorrelations in case trees tend to be close to each other. We would like to capture that. Since school and neighborhood are in different spatial scale, we choose social vulnerability index in socioeconomic thing and ethnicity thing for neighborhood. we choose free and reduced lunch rate and the rate of students in peoples of colors to represent the socioeconomic and minority status for schools. So the school with higher free and lunch reduced rate means there are more students from poor families. Looking at the result, we found that tree canopy cover in schoolyards was lower than the neighborhood, the same for the total green structures. We also found lawn was a significant land cover in schoolyards and more extensive than the neighborhood. This map, we plotted the distribution of overall social vulnerability index and tree canopy covers in neighborhoods. We can see the pattern that high social vulnerability index is associated to lower tree canopy cover. The bivariate analysis found the same thing. In neighborhoods, socioeconomic status is negatively correlated to tree and total green structures, the same for the races. However, we did not find the same bivariate results in schools. Free reduced lunch rate and peoples of color show no correlation in most counties. What is interesting, we found the free reduced lunch rate in Wake County has positive correlation to trees. For multivariate analysis for neighborhoods, we found that there are spatial autocorrelation between green structure, socioeconomic status, and minority status across 4 counties. We found socioeconomic status and races is negatively correlated to total green structure in Cumberland, but the relationship in other counties are weak. For schools, there is no spatial autocorrelation between tree, free reduced lunch rate, and peoples of color in Forsyth and Mecklenburg. We found free reduced lunch rate was positively correlated to tree in Wake County, and people of color show no correlation to tree or total green structure across 4 counties. So a quick summary for our findings. Tree canopy and total green structure was less extensive in schoolyards than neighborhoods. But green structure is more evenly distributed in schools across socioeconomic and minority status. The relationship between green structure and socioeconomic status and minority status are varies among counties. From our study, we think greening schoolyards may help to mitigate the disparities in access to green structures. And we need continued effort for equitable distribution of green structure in neighborhoods as well. And we think there are still opportunities to expand green structures in schools, and focus on multifunctional green structure will be necessary. There are still limited research about the land cover and green structure of schoolyards, so it is unclear how common the lower level of green structure in schoolyards than neighborhood in other contexts. So we recommend continue to examine the nuance about the distribution of green structure across municipalities. Thank you very much.